Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Terrence Townsend. I am the owner of Wisdom Works 2.0. Also, I am the owner of Townsend Investment Holding Group, and we connect with a lot of different businesses, a lot of people, and so we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of what we have going on here with our weekly Engage Weekly podcast. And so typically we're talking about business and talking about what it takes in order for you to establish, sustain, be a part of what it's going to take in order to be a good business person. First off, so we give you those technical tips, give you those insights, give you those things that are going to help you to build the foundation that you need in order to grow your business. But we also, like to talk about things like emotional intelligence, being able to understand what's going on in a room. When you enter a room, being able to read the room, connecting, also building networks, knowing how to utilize those networks to the fullest ability and to your fullest potential, making sure that you're in the right network, you're connected to the right people, as well as not operating in fear. That's one of the, y'all know that's one of my big pet peeves. Do not allow fear to stop you from establishing and standing in any space that is open up to you. So we absolutely want to continue to encourage you to be the people that I know that God has called you to be, and not only that, but also be the best business person that you can. So we definitely thank you again for tuning in today. And as you can see, to my right or to my left, I have Dr. Jennings, Elizabeth Jennings, here on with me. Dr. Jennings, I definitely want to read a little bit about Dr. Jennings, but I'm going to let her tell you a lot more. She is probably one of the most impressive people that I know, and yet so humble. It's a lot of times, people that have done some of the things that she's done, reached some of the spaces that she's reached, connected with people that she's connected with. They're untouchable. One thing I've discovered about Dr. Jennings is that she understands that the opportunities that she's had are only by the grace of God. Yeah, she has done the work, guys. She has done the work, and I believe that when we do the work pays off. So, Dr. Jennings, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Excited to be here and engage in this conversation with you and the listening audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Dr. Jennings is a dynamic speaker, a mental health advocate, and a occupational therapist for over 23 years of experience empowering women, youth, and families to lead resilient, purpose-driven lives. As the founder of Boys Matter Boys Matter to Men Mentorship and CEO of Remember You Matter Coaching, Dr. Jennings is a passionate change agent delivering life-transforming programs that promote mental health, leadership, and personal growth. So y'all can see that we got a pro in the room today. A person who can really help us out in not just understanding ourselves, but truly understanding our potential. She's also a certified life and executive coach, international TEDx speaker, yes, and author of 14 empowering books. She, uses her voice and platform to inspire bold action and holistic well-being with a heart for social justice and lived experience as a single mother. Dr. Jennings brings wisdom, authenticity, and compassion, leaving audience leaving audiences motivated to embrace their worth and prioritize their overall well-being. So again, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Jennings. We definitely appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
All righty. So, Dr. Jennings, definitely want you to just kind of discuss a little bit about what really I want to know. What got you into the field of dealing with mental health and really pursuing that as a career? What were some of the experiences that opened that door for you, or maybe pushed or pulled you into that direction?
Yeah, so thank you so much. So I always clarify, my main profession is I'm an occupational therapist.
Hmm.
And within occupational therapy, I went back and I got my bachelor's initially, went back and got my master's in community health, and health promotion because wellness is very important to me. And then I worked in pediatrics, meaning working with youth, for probably about 11 years. And then I saw this job, and I definitely say it was a divine thing because it was a federal job on post, on our military post. And when I saw the opening, it was like that night you had to submit everything and apply. And I was like, Lord, what is this? But there was an itch to keep like follow through. And I've learned that's not me. And I know when the Holy Spirit is moving. So I submitted my application and applied. And it was actually a job on post working with veterans at the Traumatic Brain Injury Clinic. And when I submitted, I didn't even know if it went through. It went through like right at like 11:45, midnight was the deadline to where the job was going to disappear. And so maybe a few days later, I got a call and they were like, "Did you mean to do this? You have nothing but pediatric experience. This is with an adults and veterans and totally out of what you do." And I said, yes. So I bought some books, learned a little bit before they brought me in for the interview. And it was a vacant position for about 3 years. And
Wow.
how I know it was God, like literally it took probably less than 30 days for them to onboard me and get started. And they were like, in the military, it takes like 3 months or something like that to be able to go through clearance and everything. But within 30 days, I was already like working in the position. And so that actually motivated me to go back to school to get my doctorate in occupational therapy with a study in mindfulness, working with veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. So that is what like really like pushed my initiation. I started working with them, but realized I wanted to learn more to be able to help with some of the post-traumatic stress disorder. And on top of that, I had my own personal history of dealing with mental health and I have two brothers who also had a diagnosis of schizophrenia. And so just it's always kind of been there, but I've always felt like I didn't know what to do. And so this was my way of kind of learning, going through my own experience, helping veterans and being able to push it forward to really like put action behind, just saying, I wish I could do something. And so from that on, just studying, advancing just certifications, degrees, programs, and really trying to make a difference in both our youth and adults who struggle silently with mental health. So I collaborate with counselors, social workers with a lot of things I do, but I love to add the component of occupational therapy, which was very function based and task based. So it's kind of like, yes, we're dealing with helping with your mind, but there's something about once you're able to improve your mind and actually do something or create something or use your hands to like move forward, it keeps you on a path of not being stuck or going backwards, is what I realized. And so that's why I'm so motivated to adding the components of both mental health plus like occupational therapy to what I do and what kind of programs are created.
Awesome, awesome. So with your approach, it really sounds like that's not necessarily the typical approach.
Correct.
Is this something that you developed on your own, or had you seen this done before?
So part of it was like because part of my doctorate program, which was great in occupational therapy, it allowed me to kind of create. So using research and understanding and the one of the components that I started with it was anxiety because to me there's a lot of like with mental illness or mental conditions, there's a lot of underlying anxiety or depression attached to it. And so with dealing with that, under that component, my study was kind of dealing with, like I said, anxiety with that our veterans deal with. So I actually did a study with them, and that like was really like life changing for me because they would literally like come in, and you have high ranking officers who would kind of come in, and I'm the kind of person where, as humble I am with myself, I think my approach, like when I see you, I don't see your rank, I see you as a person. And so when I talk to them, I would talk to them as a person, and it just opened up, right? And so it challenged them to like really set goals beyond what was on their rank, but really a life related. And so by touching into those components, getting to the core, having them set goals that weren't just like professionally, this is what I need to do, but truthfully, this is what I need for me to live and survive. By touching into that, we were able to create functional things, and they were so like motivated, and it was life changing. Like I literally had one gentleman share a story. I was actually about to graduate, so we had completed the program, and he was a big, strong guy, and he had avoided going out in public, doing anything with people because of an aggressive attack that he had previously. But he would come see me. He would walk because he stopped driving and everything. So he would walk to his sessions. And then I was away at school in Philadelphia, and he called me, and he was like, I had to tell you. He was like, do you know where I'm at? And I was like, no. He was like, I'm at Rudy's. He was like, this was the first time I've sat down at a restaurant in the past, like, 7 years to go in
Oh,
public. And I
wow.
just wanted you to know that the work that we did through, really processing and seeing myself better, it allowed me to get out my room and actually be around people and enjoy a meal. And from then he started like interacting with his daughter again. He moved away, got a job, and he would keep in touch to let me know the things that was happening. But those are like the changes that I've kind of noticed. And I have so many testimonies of that where as it's evolving, people really like it makes a difference because it's so real to them when they're able to tap into who they are. Even some of the mental conditions, I can talk a lot about this one, so I'll pause. But even some of the mental conditions that youth go through, my son has a really another example of what that was like. When doctors, psychologists would say it's not going to change, and he is a living testimony of when you tap into their ambitions, like totally life changing. Like he's not on any medication. Diagnosis was like totally reversed. And so just really seeing the power of, to me, yes, faith in God has a very big component, but I also think that God allows us know the things and the pieces and gives us wisdom to know how to put things together so that they're able to be changes and manifestations of what his word says, is promised for us.
Awesome, awesome. Oh man, I mean, everything that you said is so awesome in that it really shows for that that type of hard work and that type of focus really can help people. So the question that I have is, as far as within communities, within specific communities, whether it's an African American community, Hispanic American community, within those communities, what type of impact does the history or the traditions of those communities, how do they affect, do they positively or negatively impact the type of work that you do with soldiers and other folks?
Yeah, so I've had the beauty um, uh, of working with a data company in Austin. I consult with them. It's called Measure of Austin, and through them, we're able to actually like track data, history, and not just like words, but really like get numbers. We do focus groups, that are equity based, and that is where we really like get lived experiences and get that information and generate it through discussions and relevant questions. And then you get the data and answer those questions. What I have noticed is there's been a lot of when it comes to our history of, and we'll talk about mental health, a lot of, what stays in a house, what happens in the house stays in the house. A lot of misinformation, a lot of stereotypical behaviors where there are names that we would that used to be used for people who had mental illness, and so it
Mm,
created this stereotype of not being able to be honest about what's going on. And as we move forward and we now have a generation that has evolved and now is talking and learning more, it's like a pull, right? Because you have this new generation that's learning from school and everything else that it's okay to share and express, but when they go home and they go to their grandparents or older family members, they're still like silenced. And so we're now having to where the younger generation is having to kind of talk and try to like wake up or encourage our older generation that it's not too late for them, because a lot of them are still dealing with so much
mm,
anxiety and depression and just so many things that they have kind of stored, and they've become numb or just no longer, they're alive but not really living. And so to me, being able to recognize what the past was, not just like let it be, but realize as long as there's still breath in people's body, there's still hope for change and transformation. And it's
awesome.
amazing once you meet that transformation, you still have life that you can live and do so much. Like in 1 year, so much can happen. And so I think I would just encourage everyone to not get discouraged or feel like, oh, I just have to forget about the past, or the past generation, they're just stuck in their way. No, there's still a mind. God is, as long as we can pray, God still has the ability to change someone's heart. We still have empathy and compassion where if we share it the right way, that it can make an impact. And you'll be surprised what type of transformations and things can still happen, if we still have faith and hope, in making change, that God has for people. It's never too late.
Awesome, awesome. I am so glad you said that. I know just in my arena where I deal on the business side and even in ministry, I've discovered that a lot, excuse me, that a lot of people deal and struggle with those insecurities because they have in one way or another been influenced in such a way that has caused them to create those blocks in their minds, what we call strongholds.
Mhm.
and and it is difficult in many cases trying to pull those folks out, helping them to see, that life can be different for you.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I absolutely can appreciate in what you're doing. And so saying that, it kind of, I want to make that transition into something else that you're doing in order to really kind of help people in the same vein. That's I kind of see it all in the same uh vein, because there, what you're looking at helping people to jump into or to cross over into areas that most of us have been intimidated to cross into. Me personally, this in 2023, I wrote 4 books. I just but I had been dealing with those books for 11 years before I finally before I finally
Congratulations.
thank you, before
Yeah.
I finally jumped into it. I'm on your shirt tail. I'm trying to catch up with you with with all of your books. But you are having an event that is really going to help to impact lives, impact people being able to share knowledge, share their intimate thoughts, but also share with the world some things that they, that the riches that they have. So if you can tell us a little bit about the event that you have coming up.
Yeah. So what on March the 16th, it's a Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 Central Standard Time. Actually a day after my birthday.
Uh-oh,
And
25 again. Yay.
right. And truth be told, everything that I have done, it's from a place of passion. It has a reason. And so March 8th, which was Saturday, this past Saturday, it marked the 10-year mark of when my mom passed away of
Mm,
stomach cancer. And my mom was
uh-huh.
very like close and like the reason why my spirituality, my life, like she's the why for so many things for me. And when she passed away, that was a very challenging time for me. Um, it went from, burying my mom in 6 months. I buried my mom, filed for divorce after 17 years of marriage, had two car accidents where I couldn't like walk really, was working three jobs at that time. And so there was a real like shift for me, but it was also a push for me to like really take a mirror and truly see who was in the mirror looking at back at me.
Wow.
And from that moment on, like God kind of took away my ability to want to plan to do. So for a whole year, I took a year off, and just kind of like recovered and focused on me. And I had two kids at that point and healed. And that required some seclusion with him. It required really like diving through and just replaying his word and really like getting a true relationship, from him, from me. And it was about a year of that. That's when I actually found the life coach certification and took that because I had been in counseling before, but still stuck. But life coaching, there was something about that that really taught me how, because you had to be your own life coach first during the program. And it
Mhm.
taught me how to start moving. And so when that happened, there was like this light bulb. And literally, I was on the treadmill probably a year to the date of, deciding to not do anything. And I heard the Holy Spirit said, it's time. And then he just started like giving me insights. The first thing he told me was, remember, you matter. That's what my mom used to always tell me when I was in my situation. And so that is where my business name came from in honor of her, because she used to always tell me, remember, you matter. And then after that, starting the business from, just I was listening on a treadmill, listening to TD Jake's book about SOAR. And that helped me to like create the plan and everything you needed. And then a year after that, starting the business, I had always like knew I wanted to write, but same thing, like I remember my mom when I went back home after she had passed away, she had so many journals. And it's because my mom was a writer, but she never did anything with them. And so for me, whenever I heard like it's time, my first book a year after that was kind of in honor of me healing and how I healed from loss. And so it was overcoming loss. And it was from that point on, I combined a coaching standpoint with like book writing. And so, because I
Mhm.
realized anytime I picked up a book, you see a thick book when you're dealing with depression, anxiety, you don't have the energy or the capacity sometimes to get through that thick book. So what I needed, or I created what I would have needed then, like if you give me a little bit and you tell me what to do and I can actually do it, and then I can read a little bit more, and then you tell me what to do and I actually can do it. So everything that I've written, there's a lesson, but there's also like a doing where people are guided through. So it's not a hard read, but it's one of those where as you do, you're changing, you're not waiting to the end for it to happen. And so that process, that setup has really helped me to learn to complete things, to complete books, but they're not just like books, right? They become lessons that others need along their journey, of healing, of loving, of, moving forward, of finishing things they started. And so I've had a lot of people come to me before, and ask, hey, I don't even know how to get started. How do you get these out? And so it's all about timing. And so in this year, when I asked God how I wanted to show up for my mom and honor her, because every year I do something, this class kind of came to mind where there's so much going on in our world. And if I can help people gain resiliency, or I can help people gain hope, or I can help people like, focus on something positive instead of everything going on around them, that's my one
Mhm.
thing that I can kind of give back. And so that's why, it was decided, okay, I will I will walk, because I'm working on three myself. I will walk a few people through the process of it and however long they need to, so they can kind of focus and complete whatever it is that they were meant to kind of birth out also. So
Awesome.
it's a write your book master class that I'm doing on that day to get everyone started, where they're kind of learn the process, break through barriers, learn how from start to finish to kind of get that out, so that they can have those people who are stuck with getting started, or they may have kind of got started but don't know how to finish it. The goal is to give them a plan and a structure so they can use that to be able to birth out and finish and then repeat for any other ones that they want to do also.
Oh man, that is so awesome. Because it again, there are so many people that I know want to move forward, especially when it comes to writing books or doing music even. And so a class like this can absolutely be a help, be an encouragement, be something that I believe personally will, can impact your life so majorly. And so I want to encourage everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and pull your flyer up here. Give me one moment. I'll get that up. And there we go. Um, let's see here. Again, it's me and Zoom. We have our little love-hate relationship going on. So there we go. I want to capture this. Let's go back. There we go. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
All right, there we
Thank
go.
you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So on this again, guys, definitely want each one of you to check it out. It is a 90-minute masterclass. And again, it's led by Dr. Elizabeth Jennings, who again is excellent, amazing, especially when it comes to some of the things she's done. And guys, this class, if you see right here at the bottom, it's only $97 only. I mean, I'm telling you, for a class like this, many of you guys will be, paying 250 and up. So I absolutely want you to take advantage of this. This is a great deal with someone who has a great amount of experiences. And was it 14 books or how many books? 14 so far?
Yes, yes. And this year I'm working on 3 currently. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome. And so I wanted to make sure that we got this up here as well, and see if you see down here at the bottom, here's her website. It is www.rememberyoumatter coaching.com. So, and these are just some of the other events she has going on. Oh my goodness. You do not want to miss out on what Dr. Jennings is offering. So I absolutely encourage you to take part, to be a part of what she's doing, to join her at any of these events. You guys already missed the World Book Day in Glee, but some of these other events are happening and happening soon. So I encourage you to take a screenshot of this, but reach out to Dr. Jennings, especially if you want to be a part of that masterclass. So Dr. Jennings, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. You're doing some great things, and I do keep up with you on social media. So I see, every now and then I see where your kids are showing their books. So that's awesome. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we will see you again next time. We definitely got to have you on here again. We got to have you on here
Awesome.
again. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Because
you.
I felt like we just kind of, touched the surface on some things. So yeah, we'll definitely have you on here again.
Thank
So
you
do you
so
have any
much.
last words?
Yeah, just to encourage everyone. They, like I said, it's never too late. A lot of times we hear something and we've had things in our heart and we've just kind of let it go over and we don't really like pay attention to it. And if God has brought something in your heart or in your mind, it's for a purpose, and it's not just for you. And so it's so important for us to not sit on the talents and the gift that God has for us, no matter whether we have fear, doubt, insecurities, admitting what's in front of us and realizing God will always provide provision to overcome those things if we recognize and we have a heart to truly move forward in his purpose. And so, I just want to thank you for inviting me and just encourage everyone to do what God has called you to do, because there's so much in each and every one of us out here.
Amen. 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 I'm 100% with you on that. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this. I guys, y'all, those folks who are looking to grow in life, grow in business, definitely connect with Dr. Jennings. What we're gonna do, guys, if moving forward from here, we're jumping over into our clubhouse meeting. So our clubhouse, if you have the app, download the app Clubhouse. If you don't have it, go ahead and download it. And we are going to be in the room that's called Faith, Wealth, and Freedom. Faith, Wealth, and Freedom. And so we'll be talking, having some Q&A questions there. And Dr. Jennings, if you want, you can join us if you want. And we would love for you guys to be a part of that. Again, my name is Terrence Townsend with Wisdom Works. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you next time. God bless.